This is going to be a review on the LanLan Skewb, the Moyu Skewb, and the Shengshou Skewb. First off, I wanted to say that I did an average of 12 out of 20 solves. So the best average of 12 I got for the LanLan was 14 seconds. The best I got for the Shengshou was 12 seconds, and the Moyu I got 12 seconds as well. So first off, let's get to the LanLan. The LanLan Skewb, the turning quality, it turns smoothly even though there is clicking going on. It still doesn't feel like a clicking mechanism because it feels so smooth when you turn it. Now it clicks into place 3 times before a full turn, so there's 1, 2, 3. Moyu Skewb. Now this one was one of my favorites. The turning quality is very, very good. I really like the turning quality. It feels buttery, it feels smooth. Now overall when you get the Skewb, it feels very loose and it feels like it's gonna pop. Even when it turns, it kind of feels uncontrollable, which is the only downside to this Skewb. It feels very uncontrollable when you're turning it, when you're moving it. You feel like it's gonna slip out of your hands, like that. And sometimes it did during my solve where I'm trying to do the last turn and all of a sudden it slips and falls. But other than that, this is a really good Skewb. Overall, just the turning quality, the corner cutting, the controllability is the only problem that I have with it. The other thing is it's never popped on me, even though it's really loose. It has a very good mechanism inside of it, anti-popping mechanism, and I've never popped the thing once when I solved it. And I've had this for like a month and a half. Now, Shengshou Skewb, when you first buy it out of the box, it's horrible. It's like twice as worse as the LanLan Skewb. Now, the LanLan Skewb's pretty good. And when it first came out of the box, I modified it, so just saying. So without modifying it, it has 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, and the clicks aren't like the LanLan where it's still easy to turn and it doesn't feel like there's resistance. This one it does have extreme resistance to turning. What I did was I took out the ball bearings and springs. I put back the springs because the Skewb felt very uncontrollable, and it felt like it still has that even after putting the springs back. I still don't have the ball bearings back, but it doesn't feel square. What I mean by that is the center caps pop out a little more than the corners do. So it has a weird feel, and it feels like it might fall over your hands like the Moyu Skewb, although the Moyu Skewb is 100% square. Like, I don't feel any difference between the corner and the centers. There's no resistance whatsoever when you're turning it, and there's no clicking whatsoever when you're turning it if the ball bearings are out. Now, corner cutting wise, it's not as good as corner cutting than with the Moyu Skewb, but it does corner cut a little bit. And again, I don't know how to corner cut Skewbs. And see, that's the only problem that I have, is it does pop. Usually it's popped around once every 20 solves, and it's really annoying and really hard to get back. So I wouldn't suggest getting a Shengshou Skewb unless you're really good at Skewbs and you know how to control them, or else it's just gonna pop on you and it sucks to get it back. Because then after that, it's just like you kind of have to turn it to get the corner back in place there. LanLan Skewb, I give turning quality 4 out of 5. The only reason I don't give it a 5 out of 5 is because it does have 3 clicks per turn, even though it doesn't slow down the turning quality, and also it's a little bit slower than the Moyu and Shengshou Skewb when you're turning it. Modified Shengshou Skewb. Moyu Skewb, I give the turning quality a 5 out of 5 because it turns really smooth, it feels like butter, and it does have 1 click per turn, which helps with overshooting when you're solving. Shengshou Skewb, when it's modified, I give it a 5 out of 5. It's very smooth. It feels like a Diane Zanchu turning, or like a Diane Cube turning wise. It feels really easy to turn. Although one thing that I would have against it is when it's not modified, I would give it like a 2 out of 5 because the turning quality sucks on when it's not modified. Corner cutting. LanLan. For corner cutting, I would give it a 3 out of 5. It can corner cut for 1 click. So there's 3 clicks, so 1 click it can corner cut. And it can't corner cut half a piece because that's ridiculous. And because this is the Moyu company, the Moyu Skewb can cut half a piece sometimes. But a lot of times I get confused on how to turn it. So I give corner cutting for Moyu 5 out of 5. For Shengshou Skewb, I would give it a 4 out of 5 for corner cutting. It does corner cut, but a lot of times if you do try and overshoot or corner cut it, it can pop. So that doesn't help. Controllability for LanLan. Controllability, it's pretty good. I give it a 4 out of 5. The only problem with controllability is when I'm trying to corner cut or something and it doesn't turn and it locks up on me. And that's the only problem I have with this cube in general, is it's a little bit harder to get a fast turn on it because it does lock up sometimes. Moyu Skewb, turning quality. I'd say this has really good turning quality, but the only problem with it is it can be uncontrollable. So turning quality is good, but when you're trying to control the cube, a lot of times something happens like this where you're trying to turn one side, but you end up turning a completely different side, and it can get annoying. Shengshou Skewb. The Shengshou Skewb for controllability, I would give it a 4 out of 5. The only thing that I have against the turning or the controllability of the Skewb is that, number one, it can pop on you, and sometimes you can overshoot, and that can result in lockups, which suck. Okay, now it's time to give the final advice on what to buy. So if you are a beginner, get the LanLan. The LanLan's really, really good. The turning quality is a little bit slower than the Moyu and Shengshou, but it is controllable, and it will help you get faster. Especially if you're not trying to get fast on it and you just want to have a good cube to solve, or a good Skewb to solve, this is the one to get. Moyu Skewb is good for intermediate and experts that want to get under 10 seconds or under 5 seconds or whatever you need to get. And it's really good. It's very easy to turn. The only problem I have with it, again, is sometimes it can be uncontrollable. But if you're good at Skewb, you can learn how to control the Skewb. Shengshou, I would suggest not getting if you are a beginner, and if you are an expert, it can help with solving. Like, it can be better than the Moyu. I think it can get better than the Moyu. The only problem is it does pop, which can result in 30-second solves, which suck, because it takes forever to get the thing back in. So, overall, beginners get LanLan, intermediate/experts get Moyu, Shengshou for specifically for experts. But out of the box, Shengshou sucks, so you need to modify it. Seriously. It sucks. It's worse than the LanLan if you buy it and don't do anything to it.